Have you guessed that we are nothing more than a power source, a battery, or even food for other civilizations? Let's take the Reptilians for example. They need humanity in order to supply them with our life energy. In moments of a surge of negative emotions, be it anger, aggression, or resentment, we release energy. This energy flows through subtle channels to the reptilians. These are so-called parasites that exist at the expense of us, namely our energy and our emotion. Are you familiar with the expression energy vampires? People who like to make trouble and get emotional. So such people were created specifically by reptilians to pump out our energy. Any scandals, screams, and showdowns are sources of a colossal amount of energy that devastates us, but at the same time charges them even more. The most interesting thing is that reptiles do not connect to all people. The most tasty morsel for them is impressionable, sensual, emotional personalities who are very easy to shake, get emotional, and manipulate. Perhaps there are such people among your friends, or it could even be you. Let's dig deeper and figure out who influences us and our emotions in everyday life. Let's start with the fact that almost every inhabitant of the planet has access to the internet and, moreover, has their own accounts on social networks. We will not mention here the televisions that are in every home. Although television news channels show negative news, crimes, wars, disasters, and TV series and sitcoms inspire us with destructive scenarios, infidelity, alcohol, riotous lifestyle, etc. The same applies to low vibration music, books, and toxic people around. Well, let's return to social networks and their algorithms. This is what captures our attention and time with colossal force. On the one hand, it may seem convenient that the smart feed shows us only what we focus our attention on. On the other hand, these algorithms do not leave us the right to choose. We are so comfortable every time we open an account and run away from reality, gradually slipping into degradation and dehumanization. At the same time, it happens so smoothly that we don't notice it. It is not difficult to guess that such a tool was created by other civilizations to influence our consciousness and subconscious and the interest of others. Time after time we experience fear, envy, anger with which we feed those same entities. Have you ever wondered why every evening and every morning begins with your phone in your hand, and sometimes it is so difficult for you to put it aside? Imagine energy suckers that lead directly from your energy field to these vampires. Every time you experience a surge of negative emotions, you feed these entities. The most offensive thing is that you could direct all this energy to your development, which, in fact, is the meaning of our incarnation on Earth. And here you may wonder how to protect yourself from this influence. On the one hand, everything is very simple. Control your information field. On the other hand, we live in a cleverly constructed system on which our everyday life depends. Without going deep, let's take the simplest example: financial corporations. Try to find a person who doesn't have a bank card. I bet you won't find it during the day. Finance is a management mechanism. Slowly but surely it is leading us to the fact that there will soon be no physical money. All payments are made using chips or online transfers. In supermarkets, we are given cards that we scan and collect points. All this is served with the sauce for our own benefit but everything is much simpler. This is another mechanism for collecting information and controlling us. Reptilians control the entire financial base on Earth. The transition from physical money to electronic money is also their doing. In simple words, globalization and digitalization, which leads us to nothing other than global control, so that it is easier to manage and manipulate us. According to various sources, there are from 4 to 8 species of reptilians that control us in one way or another. There is an agreement between their species that they do not interfere with each other's work. The first type of reptilians is quite aggressive and considers the entire planet to belong to them. Although they, like humanity, are not the very first to appear on Earth, the first were the creatures who prepared the planet for intelligent life. They can be called gardeners, and they wanted to plant a free mind. Free precisely because every person embodied on Earth has freedom of choice, and the law of free will works in the universe. This is why, before the next incarnation, we are closed to the memory of past lives and upcoming tasks. In a new life, the soul has a choice. Those who violate the law of free will doom themselves to end up in low-vibration worlds. You can protect yourself from the effects of all kinds of energy parasites by working on your awareness through understanding the laws of the universe and developing the power of intention. Reptilians are both hostile and peaceful in nature. At this point, they have more advanced technology knowledge that they can share with us. For them, we are considered underdeveloped, so they perceive us as food. Among them, there are also those who are able to change and take on a human form. It is not difficult to guess that they do this in order to realize they're not always good plans. They are mainly interested in politics and management of the social sphere, the military sphere, and big business. Controlling people is not the main goal. In the first place for them are the Earth's natural resources, among which mercury, gold, and platinum are especially prominent. Accordingly, they are trying with all their might to block people from getting to it. Roughly speaking, in global terms, the planet for them is a farm for the extraction of minerals. Mercury is mostly needed for technology, while gold has a beneficial effect on the physical plane, health and life expectancy. Accordingly, the closer we move to the use of mercury, the closer we will be to the high technologies that the reptilians possess. Everything related to engines, aircraft, shells that allow passage through the atmosphere. Processed mercury is used everywhere in one form or another. What do we know about the origin of mercury on the planet? Where did it originally come from, and what makes it unique? Let's first dig the ball into ancient times, about 12 to 14 million years ago. Mercury is of extraterrestrial origin. Have you seen mountains that look like the stumps of giant trees with a perfect cut? They are called mesas. These are large flint trees. It is believed that such a cut could only be made by biorobots. They were visually similar to modern humans. The height was about 70 meters, and instead of blood they had mercury. They worked on our planet and extracted everything that could be useful. By their nature, they were invaders. They considered the Earth as a resource object, and they did not plan to settle here. At the same time, the planet was very beautiful and energetically strong. What is most interesting is that these biorobots were asexual. They did not reproduce here. And the mercury deposits that we are now finding are the burial places of those same biorobots. American canyons are nothing more than places where mining took place, along with precious stones and gold. They were interested in an anti-gravity metal, of which there is very little left deep in the core and from which spaceships can be made. I will talk about this in more detail in another video, but for now let's return to the topic of reptilians. As for the decision-making center, or simply put, the headquarters of the reptilians, on planet Earth, it is located in the USA, namely in Washington. In total, in relation to humanity, their number is 15%, which is quite enough to penetrate almost all spheres of influence. Let's take, for example, the largest, sist on the financial one. To make it easier for you to understand what I mean, imagine a pyramid. All management comes from top to bottom, with reptilians at the top and financial institutions below. They are the ones who invented and implemented the credit rating and make us dependent on it. Think about it. Everything revolves around a credit rating. The opportunity to buy a car, a house, get a good job and rent a house. Everyone asks for a good credit rating. Besides this, I don't know how it is in Eastern countries, but in Western countries people trust banks very much, and this is a fact. Banks have power and influence over us. That is why, if you have noticed, in June, as it is also called the month of Pride, it is the employees of large banks who necessarily participate in LGBT parades. Their websites change the design to their symbols. Why is this being done so that it is considered the norm? After all, this is another way of dehumanization. Again, let me remind you that the headquarters of the Reptilians is in Washington. The relict forests are also located in America, and the reason for holding the annual Pride parades happened in New York. And now those who go to church on Sundays. Have you noticed how the rhetoric has changed? Again, everything goes from top to bottom, like a pyramid. The same thing happens in schools, and children are encouraged to doubt their gender identity. I won't name names, but Hollywood stars are also involved in this. Let us then look into what prompts a person to change his orientation at a certain moment. As previously mentioned, reptilians are asexual creatures. Are you familiar with the expression the power of the family and the power of the family? So the reptilians want to take this power away from us, destroy us, and take away our family values. If you've ever tried to get a job at large financial companies, you've seen the questions on the application form. They ask your gender and your sexual orientation. Why do they need to know this, you ask? On the one hand, this can be the collection of statistical data, and on the other hand, giving priority to our own. Moreover, from personal observations, they can say that LGBT people usually move up the career ladder very quickly and have good positions. Coincidence? I think it's more of a reason to think about it. How do ordinary people get the desire to join the ranks of LGBT people? Everything happens through energy connections. People with weak energy, who have also been in the circle of reptilians for a long time, and often began to feel that they are drawn to the same sex. They are interested in this temptation. In the modern world, there are more and more people who have non-traditional sexual orientation. Again, I repeat, in order to keep the planet under control and manage it, the reptilians need to destroy family values. This is one of the ways to divide people. Instead of classical childbirth, there is a transition to artificial. and the strongest souls will not be able to incarnate on Earth. Please note that none of the spiritual literature mentions that a man can choose a man or a woman and choose a woman. This is unnatural, hence disrupts proper energy exchange and evolution. Let's summarize all the above, how to protect yourself from the influence of reptilians. The first and most important thing is to develop your awareness and critical thinking. Strengthen your energy protection and not allow your consciousness to be manipulated. These are some interesting facts and theories about reptilians. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I enjoyed sharing. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more mysterious and amazing content ahead. Click the bell icon so you don't miss any new episodes. What do you think about reptilians? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you next time.